Welcome to the Utah Street Banter Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode here on the Utah Street Banter Podcast. I'm Cody. Like always, with me is Elijah. What's up, buddy?
Not too much. How are you?
I'm just living the dream, man. It's another beautiful week. Fall weather over here on the eastern shore. Yeah, I mean, you're a little more north than I am, so you might be getting...
No, I mean, it's pretty good up here. I know the other day I called you and you said it was like 72, and I know it was warmer up here than down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been, during the day, it's been mid-70s, sometimes getting closer to 80. It's definitely, it's weird it's that time of year where it's in, like, tomorrow, I have an 8:15 class. I'm going to have to wear a sweatshirt to class tomorrow, but by the time I leave class, I'm sweating on the walk back to my room.
Yeah.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, it's funny because, like, we always go to a lot of Orioles games in the spring.
Yeah.
And we don't go to many in the summer because it's just hot, and I don't need it. But, like, we're going this week. I know you're going this week too,
I'm
right?
going tomorrow. Well, I guess when this comes out, it'll be the day of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and set off the tone of how I'm going to be this episode. I'm looking forward to us going to get beat by Blake Snell, basically. That's probably what's going to happen. And that's just setting the tone for how I'm going to be this episode, just to preface everybody.
That's funny. Yeah. I'm going Saturday. And they play the Tigers. Is it the Tigers?
Yeah, I believe so.
The Tigers.
It's the Tigers, yeah.
Is it? It's a Gunnar Henderson T-shirt jersey giveaway. So that'd be nice. I mean, that's the bright spot of our season.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
That's not true. We have the bright spot. I know. Just trying not to be that guy, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like always, guys, we're gonna get into our box scores. If you don't feel like listening to our box scores, you can skip ahead and you can hear about how we felt this week went.
Yeah. Don't forget our trivia segment, Cody.
Oh, we forgot.
You were so excited about your trivia question.
I did.
Too.
I totally was going to skip it.
I'll start with mine because yours is definitely better than mine. So yet again, I think you could tell that I'm not happy with the state of the Orioles right now. So I was real simple. I Googled Orioles fun facts, and this is the first thing that
fun facts.
This is the first thing. How many days does it take for an Oriole to weave its nest? That's what came up.
Yeah.
I'm going with it.
All right. How many days? 14.
12. You're almost there.
Oh, that's close.
It says the Baltimore Oriole was observed spending 40 hours building a nest with about 10,000 stitches.
Imagine being a guy, the guy just
sat there and watched that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just
every time,
just
stitch,
another check.
Yeah. So that's yet again, that's how I feel about the Orioles right now. So I didn't even mention the baseball team.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention the Orioles baseball team either because I think this is a more interesting fact. So this pitcher has a better slugging percentage.
Zach Greinke.
Yeah, you knew it. yeah. Zach Greinke has a better career slugging percentage than the Chicago White Sox. Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
He finished his career with a 336, and okay, no, they brought it up. I'm sorry. So the White Sox,
look at that. They had
last
a hot
game.
Week.
Yep. Last two games, they brought it up to a 342. So
wow.
it could still happen.
You know what? Zach Greinke could hit the ball.
Dude, if he could have had 2 hits, he would be past them right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really fun. Wow. Well, don't worry. They still have to play more baseball. Definitely could go down.
You're right.
Well, that's like I've been seeing stuff. There's 2 weeks left in the baseball season, and they have 12 games against the Angels.
Really?
Angels, White Sox for two. What is that? 3 series? Something like no. It must not be 12. That's too much because that's not more than 2 series. They're playing the Angels pretty much for the rest of the season though.
Who, the White Sox?
The White Sox are, yes.
Really?
And that's cinema right there. That's the best baseball you can watch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's
it's probably better than Orioles baseball.
Yeah, and then of course they don't have Trout or Rendon, Rendon I don't think plays baseball anymore, but I'm kidding. That's being sarcastic.
I mean, he doesn't though.
Yeah, he's never there. You know what I mean? So that's fun. All right, let's get into.
Hold up. Let's see.
You do not want me to do this.
Sorry, how many games do you think or how many at bats does Anthony Rendon have this season?
46.
206. You underestimate. He's played in. So, that's actually really funny. So he played in 57 games this season, right? If he had played in one more game, he would have tied the most games he's ever played as an Angel in a season.
Oh my gosh.
He's not had a season of over 58 games since 2020.
The Angels get so unlucky with that. They got Josh Hamilton. He went downhill. They got Albert Pujols. He went downhill. They got Rendon. And then they got a pitcher from the Rangers one year who that pitcher was really good, and he just fell off to nothing. Yeah.
I mean,
Angels are the West Coast Mets. That's
really.
And I mean, people just go there.
I saw a funny video today of and I just reminded me because the Vets, it was Mets and Braves fighting for a playoff contention for the last wild card spot, and it was 2 trash cans getting blown down the street.
Right.
That's what it is. That's how I feel with the Orioles right now.
I was gonna say, I don't know
if you saw. I will say this is breaking news. The MLB put out their top 10 teams, like the power rankings. We were not the top 5. I think we were number 7 or something like that.
We were 7. It was. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, you know what?
Probably that's still high.
Oh yeah, because I looked today, because I was at dinner with one of my friends who's a Phillies fan, and he's just hyping up the Phillies, and I was just talking bad about the Orioles basically. And I looked, and if we lose, and the Padres win, we have the same winning percentage as them.
It's the Padres.
And it's the Padres, and they're not winning their division or anything.
Yeah,
it's great. I love baseball so much.
Yeah, it's gotten crazy. Well, let's talk about how much fun Friday was for the Orioles. All right, since you've been trying to not let me talk about this.
I don't want to talk about this one.
Yeah, so Friday night, that was our opening series game with the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers decided to go with an opener, and his name was Bo Brisky. I guess I'm saying that right. And Bo Brisky did pretty well. He went 1 1/3 innings and gave up no hits, 1 strikeout. And then some guy with the last name Herder pitched. He went 5 2/3 innings, no hits. And then another guy that you don't know, Hannafy, goes 1 inning, no hits. So if you did your calculations right with your decimal points, so we're at 8 full innings without a hit. And then some guy named Holton, who you don't know, comes in, gets 2 outs, 2 strike. Now, I'm sorry. Gets a strikeout. Then we have 2 outs. Gunnar Henderson comes up to bat and hits a triple. Breaks up the no-hitter.
Guess what happens?
But wait. So the thing so he breaks up the no-hitter. Now, to get you to this, Zach Eflin pitched 6 2/3 innings, give up 5 hits, only 1 earned run. Gregory Soto comes in, goes 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, does great. Bowman comes in, does well. I mean, gets through his thing. So our pitchers only give up 1 earned run. So we're losing 1-0. It's the top of the 9th inning. Gunnar Henderson hits a screaming triple, and I guess they should just send him home just to see what the heck happened. Because Anthony Santander comes up and strikes out.
And I will say, so for those of you that don't know,
next time we're just sending him home all rundown.
For those of you that don't know, on Friday nights, I'm a sideline reporter for radio and online streaming station, basically, for a high school football team up here. And I was on the sidelines of a very, very highly contentious, very rivalry game, with all my notes in my hand and stuff, with the Orioles game on my phone. Because I saw 3/4 through the game, I'm sitting there and I saw that we had a perfect game going against us. So I was like, well, I might as well watch a perfect game get thrown against us. And I saw that, and I watched basically the 9th inning. And if that's how we played the whole game, we got no hit, because Anthony Santander had one of the worst at-bats I've ever seen him have as an Oriole. It was bad. It was the one that he struck out on, you could have given him, I don't even know. The luck the Orioles are having is, a cornhole board? Yeah. He could have swung with a cornhole board and it would have gone through the hole.
What an analogy. Well, good news. Saturday.
You were going to hear that today, did you?
Saturday, we have Detroit's in our second game of the series. Corbin Burns starts this game. So we didn't really know what we're going to get since he's been struggling a little bit. Detroit said, you know what? The whole opener thing worked out great, so we're going to start the same guy again, because why not? We again don't get a hit off of him, so that sucked. But we end up getting to their second pitcher, Madden, and he goes 3 2/3. We get 1 earned on him, And then Kenta Maeda comes in, and Gunnar Henderson goes hardcore against him, hits a bomb. We score 3 runs off of him. So the big story here, though, guys, so we scored 4 runs this game, but that is a big story because that doesn't happen very often. But Corbin Burns pitched probably his best game since he started the whole struggle. He goes 7 innings, gives up 2 hits, strikes out 7, does exactly what the Orioles needed him to do. Pitched, like I said, pitched probably the best since he's pitched in July. Just
since the All-Star break, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. So great job. I could not be thrilled if he can if hopefully we're back on the streak, and I feel much more confident now after kind of seeing that.
Yeah.
Because we kind of saw the game before that, he was a little better.
Yeah.
Right. And then this game, he was much better. Going against a hot Tigers. The Tigers are hot.
Yeah. Well, that's
right now.
I did want to note that. So there's no way to equate an entire team's offense of how good they are. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to do kind of, other than batting average, maybe just the most all-encompassing stat, OPS. And over the past 30 days, which is a decent chunk of time, the Tigers have the 10th best OPS in baseball, which isn't great, but it's much better than the Orioles too. I don't know if you want to know. They're the 27th. The Tigers are almost 100 points better than us. And so that's when you say the Tigers, they're an above-average offense, especially. They've been really hot. It's almost, they're trying to make a playoff push. I don't think they're going to get there, but they have a lot of young guys that are good, and our pitchers over this whole entire series did good.
Yeah, I completely
hit the ball though.
I completely agree. Going into Sunday, Saturday we win 4-2. Sunday we lose 4-2. Cade Povich pitched. That loss brings him to 2-9. He goes 5 innings, gives up 2 earned, strikes out 8. So the line doesn't look bad. I mean, he gives up 2 earned. That's really good for Cade Povich. Jacob Webb comes in. Is that his first game back, Elijah? Was that his first game back? Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, he gives up 1 earned. So obviously, and then Gregory Soto, I'm sorry, he comes in and gives up an earned. But the big story here, guys, is we couldn't get anything going. We had 7 hits, so you think we could have scored more than 2 runs, but obviously that just didn't happen. The Adley Rutschman had a big game here. He hits a home run. And he goes 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. So Adley needed that. Every time I feel like Adley gets hit, I always say, "Oh, maybe he's getting out of it," and then it falls back into it. But it's just the thing that's really frustrating me is the strikeouts. So, for instance, right now, let me talk about batting average first. Okay, so the last 30 days, the Orioles batting average is a 207. As a team. That is second worst in Major League Baseball. Elijah, who's number 1 without hitting the sort button?
The Rockies.
The Los Angeles Angels.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Who has the 3rd worst in all of baseball?
The White Sox.
The San Francisco Giants. And guess who we're getting ready to play?
The Giants.
The Giants. So that means either team's going to win 1-0.
That's that's true. I would like to know, I should have brought it up earlier before we got into Orioles. Did you see what happened in San Francisco though over the weekend?
I did not.
Elliot Ramos became the first right-handed hitter to ever hit into McCovey Cove.
I did see that. I think
that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome, dude. That was a shot too. I was pretty surprised.
Sorry, that's completely off topic, but I just
no, you're fine. Yeah, no, but that was a shot. It's funny because when he hit it, it didn't look like it was going that far.
Because I saw the first clip I saw of it was of his swing, and it didn't it kind of looked like he just hit a foul ball. But you know, he's a really good player. Yeah.
But jumping back into the series, so obviously we lose 2 out of 3, or if you're a glass half full kind of guy, we won 1 out of 3. And that still sounds terrible. But I mean, do we want a positive? Our positive is this one of the best series our pitchers have pitched in a long time. So they did really well. We give up 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs in 3 games. For us, that's really good.
I mean, we gave up more runs in 1 game against the Red Sox. So
it's just like I said, we should have won 2 out of the 3.
Realistically, against the Tigers pitchers, we didn't face Tariq Skubal.
No,
we didn't face he's gonna win the Cy Young. He is, and we didn't face him.
Deservingly so. Yep.
He's an amazing pitcher.
Yeah,
but none of their pitchers aren't outstanding.
Right.
The people that no hit us, I watching the series realized I don't know many Tigers, especially the
No.
relievers. Like I know probably one person in their bullpen, and he was somebody that I wanted to trade for.
Yeah, so I mean, that's where I think it was kind of a genius move on their staff, because I mean they kind of made it so the Orioles generally do better in the late innings.
Yeah.
Because they kind of figure a pitcher out, right? Well, not late innings, fifth inning. You know what I mean? That second, third time through, really third time through. But whereas we never got a third time through. We never hardly got to a second time.
No.
So it was, good.
I don't know if they had a single. Did they have a single guy go more than 5 innings?
I know. No.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was really happy about this series was Corbin Burns.
Oh yeah.
I've already talked about it. He did amazing. Here's my other issue is I am like, this isn't fair to him this time. I don't think. It's just how I personally feel. Whenever I see Cade Povich pitching, I just chalk it up as an L. Like I don't have any if Cole Irvin pitched, I'd say there's a 5% chance of winning.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would probably be the same as Povich, but it doesn't feel like the same. Like I just have no trust in.
I think it's just because
Povich.
Povich is kind of one of those miracle pitchers that throws 92 miles an hour.
Yeah.
His fastball, it tops, I think, at like 94.
Right.
And it's just because location's really good. He looks really good. His biggest battles is his pitch count.
Yeah.
He cannot. I was watching the game on Sunday. I think he had 60 pitches through 30 innings.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of his biggest problem. And he's battling. The way I kind of look at it is he's going to have the bad start every once in a while, but he's not going deep into games. And he's not giving up 0 runs, but he's also not giving up 10 runs. I think the perfect way to think of him is like a Dean Kramer type.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, hey, is this Dean Kramer 3 years ago?
I think that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, this is Dean Kramer, because this year's Dean Kramer is much more hit or miss. Like he's elite for 3 games and then the one blow-up game.
Yeah.
But I think Cade Povich is more consistently in the middle. Another thing about Povich is just the archetype that he is I kind of see him. He could very well be pitching, whether for the Orioles or another team, for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Think of him almost like Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah. You know who he looks like when he pitches to me?
Who?
Is like not looks like, but his stuff reminds me of Wenyan Chen. It's just it's just the loopy curveball, right?
Yeah.
The fastball that's not crazy fast. I mean, it's faster than we can throw, but it's just it just reminds me of that. If just the command is different. Wenyan Chen could hit corners, could miss bats just by being very accurate, and I think that just comes with time.
Yeah, that's true. No, I definitely agree. So would you like to talk about our people returning from the IL and our IL updates, or do you want me to go on my rant?
Let me talk about my IL because I don't know how. So if everybody wants to turn it off before you start.
Okay, that's fine.
Just kidding. Good news, everybody, is Heston Kjerstad is back and Jacob Webb is back, even though he gave up the 1 earned, but it's okay. We need him to be good in the playoffs. And so Danny Coulomb is very close to returning. I think he will return. I bet you tomorrow. Okay.
You think he's coming back tomorrow?
He's been facing live batters at Camden Yards since since Saturday.
Yeah.
So they never assumed he was coming back on the road. So he was staying in Camden Yards, pitching to whoever he's pitching to. And I think that was just because they're going to reinstate
that makes sense, because I mean, I'd have to assume at this point, if he's still there, he's not going on a rehab assignment.
Yeah.
Which might just be because they figured he's that crucial. They want him to start now, which I definitely agree with, because I would love for him to be back as soon as possible. I'm just glad he was able to come back this year.
Right.
It wasn't a next year thing.
Right. Yeah. So Westberg, he just started hitting in the cage. So he was doing dry swings up until now. On Saturday, he started hitting in the cage. I expect him to be back in the playoffs. I would be shocked if he's back anytime sooner than that. I'll
tell you when he comes back. He's going to come back at the very end of the year for probably like the Twins series.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. I think they have him get 1 game in or something like that.
Yeah. Ramon Urias is ahead of schedule. They keep saying that over and over again. He still has yet to sprint the first base. That's crazy how long he's a sprained ankle. I mean, I thought it wasn't going to be that bad.
I think it's just one of those things that if you try to work it too soon, you hurt it more. He's someone that I expect to come back for the playoffs still.
Yeah. Grayson is pitching a live batting practice. I expect him to come back one start before the playoffs. I have no insight. It's just by when I read Rockabucco, the beat writer for the Orioles, and I read other intel, it just seems like that's the plan. So I would assume
Yankee series probably.
I would assume maybe even I assume I'm going to stick with that. I think he comes back, pitches one game before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that does well. Ryan Mountcastle, he hopes to begin swinging in the next few days. So I have a weird one about this. So there's a lot of iffy things when I read updates with him. It's like hopes to begin swinging, maybe not, maybe something, and it's like just so unsure.
Mm-hmm.
I have an assumption. I don't think we see him unless we go into the conference series, the ALCS.
That makes sense.
I would just be shocked. It just seems like this is just a lingering
and just
thing.
So you know, I'll correct him for all of you listeners.
Oh, did I say something wrong?
You said conference series.
Oh,
we're not in the NBA.
I'm sorry.
The championship
series.
ALCS.
Yes.
I'm sorry. This is.
You know what I meant.
No, I know, and I have a reason why I'm going to support you, and I have a reason why I agree that he's no rush. So, in 17 games, 43 plate appearances, this guy has a 263 batting average with an 875 OPS. Right, he can play third base. He can play first base. And he's been doing very well defensively and offensively, kind of coming in really key. He had a couple big home runs here late. His name's Emmanuel Rivera.
Yeah, he's been crushing it.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're listening to this or watching us, does this happen to anybody else? You see, whether it's Emmanuel Rivera RBI or Emmanuel Rivera scores, and I think the Orioles are losing because I forget that we have Emmanuel Rivera on our team. So like, it comes up on your phone, you know how it just says Rivera?
Yeah.
And it tricks me every time. Like, oh, crap. He's on our team. That's a good thing. Because it seems like he's a part of everything. You know what I mean? It's just he seems to be doing well. Speaking of somebody that's doing well, I wouldn't say good. I'd say well. Trevor Rogers, just because he's in AAA, and this is part of our, hopefully, people coming back. Trevor Rogers has notched 3 consecutive quality starts in AAA. So not sure if that matters. I don't know. But
okay, wait.
We'll see.
So I might be wrong here, but this is just something I just thought of that you might maybe see. So say Grayson comes up, right? Someone's obviously going to have to go down for Grayson when he comes up. He makes that one start. I'm assuming it's not going to be like last game of the season. Maybe Grayson comes up, makes that start, goes back down the next day. You have Trevor Rogers come up to make a start. Or make a relief appearance, either one. Probably, I doubt it'd be a start because he wouldn't be a starter in the playoffs, most likely. Just to see what he looks like, maybe. To see, because you get expanded roster slightly. Maybe they want someone like him on the team. As even just, he could be like a Jack Flaherty last year. He never obviously got into a game, but kind of a mop-up, maybe. Because he's definitely major league talent. He's not done good, but he can't be worse than Craig Kimbrell.
You're not wrong. All right, everybody, are you ready for this?
Okay.
This is the Elijah Rant.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, I actually, I had Cody look at this. I just have this. I have a whole bunch of names listed down and then just rant after it because today's not been great for me as an Orioles fan. It's been a rough sports
We haven't even played
today. Exactly. Well, so because what was it? I was sitting in class, and I just finished a quiz. I was scrolling through Instagram, and then I saw a picture of Cole Irvin pop up on my Instagram.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
And I got real sad. You know, I saw that he had been claimed by the Minnesota Twins, and I about lost it because Michael, I'm gonna call him Michael. I'm gonna use his government name here. Michael has been treating certain players like poker chips, doing whatever he wants with them, and I was this close to losing it with Dylan Tate. I was very, very close to losing it when Nick Vespi got DFA, but luckily we still have him because somehow no one claimed him. That was a mistake by all other 30 MLB teams. There's probably only 10 teams that couldn't use him. If you're a non-playoff team, he definitely could help you. I don't know how you didn't claim him. And now Cole Irvin's gone. And you want to know I'm frustrated about this? I'm really frustrated because Cole Irvin, you look at his stats, he's not overall not been a great year, right? 4.86 ERA. That's not great. But this is what I want to look at. In the months of April and March, he had a 3.49 ERA. How about May? A 2.01 ERA. And then he started to lose it in June, 6.30. He had a 9 ERA and 14 innings in July. That was bad. That was his worst month by far. In August, though, he came back with a 4.15 ERA, and he had 2 appearances in the month of September that didn't go well for him, right? He's not been great. I'll be the first one to say that. He's not had an amazing season, but he's shown flashes of greatness. You want to know what also he does? So I don't know if you're aware. I wasn't aware of this until I started looking up. On May 30th of this year, Barks, the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter, right? He partnered with them and would sign autographs on. There was a day that he came and signed autographs for anybody that donated money or items to the shelter. He even signed adoption certificates. This was after they had seized 150 dogs from one place, or they had 150 dogs in their care and seized 83 dogs and cats from a home that they needed to take it from. He went and helped out with other pitchers from the Orioles. That's the type of guy that we're getting rid of. And I feel like this could be a part that's kind of hurting the Orioles too, because we're constantly losing guys like this. Look at Kyle Gibson. This is the type of stuff that Kyle Gibson does. This is the type of stuff that doesn't just help your clubhouse, but also helps your community. And then as I take a look at another man, a man by the name of Cardiac Craig, would you like to look? He had great first half of the season. Up till June, he was doing great. Then July, 6.52 ERA. August, 7.27 ERA. September, 9 ERA. When's the last time Craig Kimbrell didn't give up a run?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's given up 3 earned runs in 3 innings in the month of September. He had given up 7 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings. I don't know if you realize that's almost a run an inning.
I do realize that. You were doing like 1 + 1. I got that.
This is also the thing that I'm looking at. He is not striking out people anymore, and that's like his whole thing. He has a career strikeout rate of 14.1. Is that right? Yeah, 14.1 strikeout per 9 rate, right? So that's
Wow.
14 strikeouts per 9 innings. He is just below 8 strikeouts per, he's at basically 8 strikeouts per 9 innings right now for the past 2 months. It's just his, like, coming into this season, we were like, Craig Kimbrell's not great, but he can still strike people out. And he can still get outs, but he's not doing the 2 things he's supposed to be good at.
Right.
I get he's a Hall of Famer, but there has to become a point where, is it Michael Elias's pride getting in the way because he made this signing? He spent money and it didn't work. He had to bite the bullet on Trevor Rogers. Why can't we bite the bullet on Craig Kimbrell? Because Craig Kimbrell he's a guy that if I were to see him come and take the mound in October, I would lose my mind.
It's be like an Ubaldo Jimenez type of thing.
Yeah, like he's no. Ubaldo Jimenez at least was serviceable in 2016. Sorry, Craig Kimbrell's god awful, and I don't want to, like, I feel bad saying that, but he's been terrible. He has a 4.35 ERA in the year, and this is what I want you to take into consideration. Yes, he had an amazing first half, but since he started doing bad, his usage has gone down so much that he's not. The reason his stats aren't terrible because he's not pitching enough for them to be terrible, because he's doing so bad when he's pitching. He's killing us.
Right.
But we get rid of people like Cole Irvin. We get rid of people like Dylan Tate, who spent most of the season in AAA when he couldn't have been worse than this. We get rid of people like Nick Vespi. Send him up and down. Nick Vespi is a guy that should be on our bullpen constantly. He's good enough for that. We have other people that I didn't name that I'm sure are in AAA doing good. But then we also have someone like Birch Smith. Did great for us in July, right? 2.16 ERA in July. He has a 13.5 ERA in the month of September. 6.92 ERA in the month of August. These are 2 people in our bullpen. And it's not like a Gregory Soto. I know you were calling for Gregory Soto to be taken out. Gregory Soto, he went through his troubles and he found it. He's done good lately. Not great, but good. These pitchers have not been doing good. And I don't understand what Elias is doing. I don't even know. It's so frustrating to see. I try to look at it from every perspective. I try to look at it from the pure fan, because that's where I am most of the time. I'm a fan just like everyone else here, and we don't understand why our team's doing bad. Well, I try to look at it. I'm a sports media major. I try to look at it from a more analytical reporting side. Well, what's the stats say or something like that? And I even I'm not that smart, but I try to look at it from a general manager's mind and the value that they provide for a team, but the value that even take away Cole Irvin, he's provided negative value overall for the Orioles. He has a -4. But Dylan Tate and Nick Vespi haven't. They've been good enough for us.
Right.
I don't get it.
Now,
it drives me insane.
I agree, bud. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here.
I know.
I don't know, man. It's just frustrating on so many aspects because like he was pretty quick on that terrible trade with Trevor Rogers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he sent him down in a heartbeat.
He's giving Kimbrel a whole season.
Yeah, and then so here my other issue is so I see everybody that you blame Hyde. Who else is he going to do? I mean, at some point you have to use him if he's there. You know what I mean? Like if he's an arm, you can't like just go around him and waste everybody else. Like you have to use him.
Hyde doesn't make the roster. He doesn't control the roster. That's Michael Elias and Sigma Dell and people like that.
It's sort of like getting mad at somebody building your house that doesn't buy the supplies. Like if they got cheap plywood and it's just too thin and just does a terrible job, you can't blame the guy just putting on the wall. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. But can you give me your player of the week? I want to hear a positive out of you.
Give
me your positive.
Gunnar Henderson's my positive. He's been the bright light of the Orioles offense. Him and Cedric Mullins have been all that's really good.
Yeah. Well, Gunnar Henderson all year. We're gonna think of when you think back of unless we win the World Series,
which I don't foresee.
When you think of 2024, you're gonna think of the year Gunnar Henderson broke out.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. Which is it's weird to say that he broke out a year.
And he won Rookie of the Year last year.
Like he but no, he went 2 for 3. He had a home run, a double, a walk. He had a stolen base. He had 2 RBIs. Like this is the type of guy that I'm at the point right now where obviously we want to re-sign people. He should be the number one priority.
Yep.
Especially with how Adley's played this season. I don't care if it's just the one season or not. Adley, as an elite catcher and an elite bat, when he's at his best, he's elite.
Yep.
He is the best catcher in baseball. I think even if Gunnar Henderson can't be the best shortstop in baseball because Bobby Witt Jr. exists, it's insane to think that he's even better.
Right, that's true.
And if Gunnar Henderson could just put up the numbers that he's put up this season, I don't know if people understand it. If he does this for 15 years, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's the type of stats that he's been putting up. Yep. I don't even think he'd have to do it for 15 years probably, because the way that you don't need the counting stats that you used to need to make it into the Hall of Fame. He is playing at such an elite level. The one thing that he's going to probably step forward in game 2 is his defense, which you can't get too much better offensively.
Right.
And he's been the real bright light of this Orioles offense all season, especially this past week. Broke up the no-hitter. Just think about how the mental toughness that you have to have. You are going into, there is 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. There have been 26 people get out before you're stepping up to the plate. And it's got to be easy just to give up then. But to fight through and not only just get a bit on base, hit a triple, like that's insane.
Yep.
I
agree.
It's just he's been so, he deserves all that he gets. Whatever. I would rather give him the blank check. Obviously, I know Corbin Burns is an amazing pitcher, and if he keeps up what he's gonna do, he could probably be a Hall of Famer too. But Gunnar Henderson, I would so much rather have than Corbin Burns or someone else. If it takes us not re-signing Corbin Burns or Adley Rutschman to keep Gunnar, I'm okay with that.
Right. Absolutely. Mine is Corbin Burns for this past week, especially against the Tigers. Like I said, he went 7 innings, struck out 7, only 1 walk, only 2 hits. Definitely, that's what I needed. I needed him to do well, to step up. He's my player of the week just because of this. I could not have been happier with the way he did.
Yeah.
Or he pitched. You know what I mean?
So, I agree.
Yeah. So, so moving on, looking on to next week, or to this week, we have the Giants series starting Tuesday, the 17th. That goes until, Thursday? And then we have the Tigers. They come back into town. We play them, and that's our last home series of the season.
Yeah.
And then next week, before we talk again, after we talk next week, we have the Yankees. And then can you imagine if somehow the Orioles do so bad that on the 29th of September, we have to win to make the playoffs, and we play the Minnesota Twins, and Cole Irvin is on the mound against the Baltimore Orioles?
You know what?
Oh
how
my
mad I am
God.
today at the Orioles, I would hope Cole Irvin shut us down.
No,
No, obviously I don't. But like, it's just, do you know how many games back of the Yankees we are right now?
3.
3.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. How about this?
Last week when we did this podcast, we were half a game.
Yeah. How about this? How many games do you think we have above the Royals right now in the wild card?
Was it 4?
2.
Oh wow.
If we lose 5 games, because don't worry, who's right now waiting in the wings of the first one out of the playoffs right now of wild card?
Who?
The Detroit Tigers.
You're right.
If they sweep us this next series and the Twins sweep us, legitimately, we won't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because they're both behind it. Like, it's getting to the point where a collapse could come.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just
it's so ridiculous. We're 84 and 66. The Padres are 85 and 65.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sorry, no, they have a better record than us right now.
Yeah, that's insane. I just but real quick, one thing I think is pretty cool is you're gonna see it tomorrow. It's tomorrow. It's the whole home series against the Giants. The Orioles are doing they're calling it the yard sale. So basically, they're giving away any of the giveaways that were left over. So make sure if you're going to the Orioles game this week that you jump in line. I believe it's in the picnic area, right beyond center field. So make sure you get on that. And so I put looking forward to Orioles. What are we looking forward to this week? The regular season is almost over. Thank God.
And the only thing that I'm looking for, because this is how I was talking to my friend today. He's a big Phillies fan, talking about how good they are. And I was like, yeah, you can be as good as you want during the regular season, but the difference is that the playoffs are a completely different animal. And I use the Phillies as an example. The Phillies have been good in the regular season the past couple of seasons, but not as good as they've done in the playoffs. And I'm just hoping that's what the Orioles do this year.
I hope so.
I'm hoping something lights a fire under their butts and gets them going. I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope so. I'm going to hope that someone in that clubhouse really steps up. Anthony Santander takes a hold of them, gets the offense going or something like that. Because I think if anyone's going to kickstart the offense, it's him.
It's there, though. Like,
the
talent's
100%.
there. The talent's there.
I mean, we have dealt with injuries, but our offense shouldn't be. Because this is my thing. Like, with how many injuries we've had, the offense shouldn't be this bad because our people that we're supposed to rely on aren't doing what we needed to do.
Right. You're right.
Because we weren't relying on Westbrook to be an all-star this year. Right. Yes, obviously we miss him, but we shouldn't have been expecting that. We weren't.
Right. Yeah, you're right. But anyway, hopefully next week we are back on this podcast. We're in a good mood.
I hope I don't have to have another rant.
I hope not either.
If it keeps on this track, I'll have 2 rants next time.
2? Okay. All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for joining us on another episode here on the Utah Street Banter podcast. Please make sure you like, follow, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're on X. We're on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So you can find us anywhere. Please make sure, like I said, to just keep up to date with us on our socials. Definitely reach out.
Oh, yeah. If you need a rant, just send it.
Just let us know, because we would love to bounce
I'll go right back with you.
Yes, we'll have some fun, right? But anyway, thank you again. We can't wait to see you next time here on the Utah Street Banter. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep. See ya.